Hello there, it's Jen, the professional explainer, coming at you with another Wordy Wednesday, and today I want to talk to you about the enduring power of B2B blogging in the era of video sharing, business podcasts and social media algorithms. Now, I'm not here to poo-poo any particular platform or media. Hey, I'm making a video about it and putting it on YouTube after all. But I feel that blogging remains an essential and impactful channel in the B2B space, and that putting your expertise out there into the world in a text format is still incredibly valuable. I'd also like to acknowledge that a video sharing, podcasting and social media presence is hugely powerful within digital marketing, and all have important roles to play. Creating B2B content on any platform is largely what you make of it, and all media and methods can be used to great effect with the right approach and the right strategy. But back to the topic at hand. Personally, I think blogging is the most effective content type to focus on. It's the most cost effective, the most time effective, and the most effort effective. So let's look at 5 reasons why blogging is still hugely relevant to B2Bs in the YouTube, TikTok, and podcast era. Number 1, content on your own site gives you ultimate control. This is a huge factor for me. When you create content that lives natively on your own website, i.e. you aren't relying on external parties like YouTube or Spotify to get it out into the world, you have ultimate creative control over that content, what it says, how it says it, and where it's visible. You aren't limited to the confines of one platform or one algorithm or one way of doing things. And if your website CMS confines you in a way that you don't like, you have the power to change it. Though this does come with a considerable caveat. It also means you're responsible for distributing that content to your audience and ensuring that content's visibility. After all, you don't have a Spotify or YouTube algorithm to find new eyeballs for you, and even search algorithms may not pay attention to a post if the SEO stars don't align. Let's also look at this a different way. Now, more than ever, our browsing habits are being dictated by algorithmically generated feeds and suggestions, designed to keep us on a platform for longer than we were planning to be on it in the first place. Social media and media sharing platforms make their money by keeping people scrolling away on their platform to serve ads. However, you would much rather get your prospect over to your own site, your own walled garden of sorts, to keep their undivided attention. Number 2, blogs are easily editable. As change is the only constant in life, this is another massive benefit in blogging's corner. Things change over time, including your opinions, your advice, your company, your industry as a whole, and far more factors beyond that. An old blog that's showing its age can quickly and easily be spruced up, brought into the modern day, and serve you as a funky, new, fresh marketing asset. However, if you have an old video or an old podcast that's in dire need of an update, you'll generally have to record it again, and this can take a lot more effort than simply editing or rewriting parts of what is effectively a text document, as you need mics and cameras and stuff like that involved. Number 3, blogging has a strong relationship with search. Now, this isn't to say that videos and podcasts won't benefit you in search. Search engines are getting better at looking at multimedia content and serving it in search results. But textual content has precedent of being easily indexable by search. And the more textual content you provide on your website, the more information Google has to get its hooks into understanding what your site's all about. As I've already mentioned in a video before now, gone are the days when you can rely on search engines alone to get your content out there with no alternative distribution strategy. But the intent behind search is still great. You're grabbing people who are actively looking for solutions, hands on the keyboard and mouse, ready to be fed information. You want to capitalise on that attention by bringing them to your own site in that moment while the iron's hot, not somewhere else where they might get distracted. There are alternatives. You could embed unlisted content or use a media plugin that renders that content in a way that's not viewable elsewhere. That might be an option for you, but then search engines are even less likely to see the contents of that media. It's a bit of a swings and roundabouts situation. Number 4, the barrier to entry is lowest with blogging. In order to blog, you simply need a website that accommodates blog posts and some time to put blog posts together. A basic content strategy and a few set goals are nice to have too, but that's it. Nowadays, websites can be surprisingly inexpensive, even free if you're happy with a few compromises. Free sites aren't something I would recommend long term, especially in B2B spaces, but the point stands. If you're going on a business-like video or podcasting journey, you will likely need to invest in some tech. Video-wise, smartphones are now generally powerful enough to capture great-looking video, but you'll likely need to invest in lighting, a tripod, and maybe a microphone or two for the best video you can muster. And podcasting can require some pretty decent hardware if you want to create a good impression. A good mic, an audio interface, things like audio cables and pop shields, things that not just everybody has lying around. And on both counts, let's not forget editing software too. Getting up to speed with multimedia can also be a lot of effort. It can be quite the learning curve when you've got your day-to-day business or department running to do. But CMS platforms for blogging are just a hop, skip and a jump away from word processing tools you likely already know how to use. So blogging is a great place to start, and you can always scale up to multimedia later. Which brings us nicely on to number 5. Blogging is a great springboard for other content channels. I think blogging is the best place to start on a B2B content journey, but it doesn't mean you have to stop there. Once you have a bank of blog content and you're used to working with content strategy, you can always use audio or video media to bring your wisdom to other channels and other avenues online. This can be as simple as reading out a blog post in a podcast form or presenting a post as a video or a webinar. Providing read out versions of blog posts is great for accessibility too, as it presents an option to those with visual impairments, those who struggle with reading, or those who can't look at a screen for too long. That's not to say that posts that were natively videos or podcasts can't be turned into a blog post, but blogging's lower barrier to entry and editability means that you can always update older content and turn it into a fresh new resource over on another channel. Beats writing something new from scratch. But enough about what I think, let's look at a few statistics. Short articles, those less than 3,000 words, ranked 3rd in the B2B content assets that generated the best results in the previous 12 months. That's from 2021 and the Content Marketing Institute. I've also seen data that would imply the average blog post is probably about half that in terms of word count length. 56% of marketers who leverage blogging say it's effective, and 10% say it generates the biggest return on investment. That's from HubSpot in 2021. And blogging is one of the top media formats that marketers plan to use for the first time in 2024. That's from HubSpot in 2024. And in 2023, 1 in 4 bloggers reported that blogging garners strong results. That's the dark orangey section in the pie chart. And over 2 in 4 reported that it gets them some results. That's the lighter orangey section. Results in this case included factors like website traffic, lead generation, brand awareness, and email list growth. And that data is from Orbit Media. So, in conclusion, imagine a marketing channel where you can share the length and breadth of your worth and your wisdom and update that wisdom over time as it grows. A channel that can benefit you in search, can be used across multiple platforms to increase your visibility. And it's easy and relatively inexpensive to set up and even to outsource. Yup, it's blogging, she says on a YouTube video. The irony is deliciously crunchy. But anyway, do you agree that blogging's place is at the top of the B2B content tree? Or do you think the future of B2B content is elsewhere? I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. Speaking of which, please like, comment, subscribe, and do all of those YouTube things to appease the mighty algorithm. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.